Високоповажна пані Олено,
Dear Olena,
Мустафа Ага, почесні захисники та захисниці
Mustafa
України, дорогі друзі та
Aga,
колеги, салам алейкум.
dear defenders of
Як
Ukraine,
науковець, який
Salam
вивчає
alaikum.
українську
As
культуру та історію,
a researcher
історію та культуру
studying
я хотів
Ukrainian
би
history and
принести
culture, particularly that of the
точніше,
Crimea, I'd like to invite you
1787 рік. У момент,
to,
коли Катерина II
to revisit the past, particularly 1777,
проїхала Україну
when Catherine the
Кримом до
Great
Бахчисарая, до
went all the way across Ukraine to Bakhchysarai, the then capital of the Crimean Khanate. The majority of history books at the time and after that
близько та величі.
described the trip as the one full of glitter and majestic spirit. Little was said about the resistance Catherine met in the Crimea. Many Crimean Tatars in Bakhchysarai turned their backs to Catherine, refusing even to look at her. It was really a surprise for Catherine's French friends. And Catherine would write later on that the Crimean Tatars keep to their stupid pride even after the conquest. One of the reasons allows me putting it squarely and plainly, to some extent, Western researchers and academics would really let down Ukraine, the Crimea, and the Crimean Tatars. Many of us were focused on the empire itself, its greatness, so-called narratives of great statehood, without paying much of attention to the voices of resistance, like those of the Crimean Tatars, who had opposed Catherine the Great. Many of us in the West underestimated the depth of the Russian colonization, undervalued the importance of the Ukrainian society. Unfortunately, we see such prejudices remain even today. But recognizing our faults may release us and free us, opening new opportunities, showing us certain things that have long been obscured. Let us be clear, Russia is a landlocked expansionist empire, and the Crimea is a piece valued by it as a colony. This is a place rich with history, geography, demographics. This is what Russia have been trying for long to erase from the face of the earth, primarily the rich culture and traditions of the Crimean Tatars. Let's also be clear that the Crimean Peninsula is a continuation of the land part of Ukraine, and the people living there do need Ukraine. This is not a slogan. This is a historical and geographic fact. The Crimea has been intrinsically tied to the mainland Ukraine, dependent on it. Let us also make it clear that the historic experience of the Russian and Soviet rule in the Crimea was the path of ongoing ethnic cleansings, religious cleansings, traumas, beatings, and sufferings. Because of that, most of the people in the Crimean Tatars as well, strongly voted in favor of the independence of Ukraine. And most of the Crimean residents have said it that the Crimea has to be part and remain part of Ukraine, because if separated, it will be doomed to fail, and if being kept by Russia, it will remain an ongoing source of global conflict. And we as people for whom the matter of freedom is not alien, we have to do everything to help the armed forces of Ukraine to deoccupy the Crimea and other temporarily occupied parts of the independent Ukraine. Even more, we need to deoccupy our collective mind. And let me use the summit to address the Western leaders. I ask you to invest in the future of the Ukrainian knowledge of Ukrainian realities and learn into the Crimean Tatar heritage, language and culture. I ask you to continue supporting those scholars and students majoring in Ukrainian matters elsewhere abroad. Please listen to them, learn from them, provide them with opportunities to develop today, tomorrow. Investments in science about Ukraine are a recipe of peace and flourishment of the upcoming generations.
Thank you very much, Professor.